what I do, and you know, I tell you a lot of stories about my life. At the end of each year, I take 10% of what we make, and I distribute it amongst my employees. And you know, this will make you smile. My project managers, estimators, and project managers, they work on a commission base. They get about $40,000, $42,000 a year. But I've got one fellow that his salary is $42,000 a year. He made $500,000 last year. And everybody at my place is on incentives. These supervisors, the full-fledged ones, I pay them $1,000 a week. So they're getting $52,000. I rent their trucks from them because I don't like owning equipment. Most of those guys last year made upwards of $75,000. But usually fresh graduates I'm hiring at about $600 a week. And first year, I think I hired 2 guys last year. They made close to $40 on a $30,000 salary. You know.
How many do you hire a year?
Well, just that's the most I'd hired for several years, 1 or 2, I suppose. I'm not, about a week from today I'll be 64 years old. I don't know how much longer I'm going to do it, so I don't want to get a whole lot bigger, But the company, I think, will go on. Some of my employees would like to buy it when I get tired of it, I guess. But I've got really good employees, so I'm able to take more time off than I used to, or come and talk to young guys that want to do this for a living. So that's kind of the marketplace, though, to tell you the truth. A lot of my competitors, and it's funny, you become friendly with your competitors. They're not your enemy. There's ones that'll cut corners, and they don't usually last too long. But the quality guys, I know at least a half a dozen contractors. If we go somewhere and can't find a plumber, then I can call and say, hey, do you know any plumbers in Washington, Missouri? And they'll tell me 3 or 4 guys. And I would do the same for them. Wal-Mart has so much work that none of us need it all. We call it the big river of opportunity, and all we need is a bucket full. It's so. These other guys, they tend to pay their guys more salary than I do, but most of them have no bonus program. When I got out of college, I went to Florida. I lived in Fort Lauderdale for 3 years, and I came back home because I couldn't stand it. But while I was there, I was a superintendent for a guy, and I built a Sackcrete plant for him. And I brought it in under budget, and he made an extra $40,000. He gave me a $100 bonus. And I started looking for a job the next day. I was really offended by that. So that's why I'm generous with my guys. They're doing the work, they've, those guys have made me a fairly well-to-do guy, and you gotta, all the dollars are not mine, so. And you want to try and find somebody like that values what you do. Big trick with being a success, I think, is you got to make enough money to live on. But the real key is to find something you really like to do and learn to do it really well. And the money just shows up, because I never had any goal to have a company this big or make a lot of money. I just wanted to do something I liked. You got to do it every 5 days a week for the next 40 years. You better like it. So, but it's, you just got to remember, whatever deal you made, just live up to it with your customer, your client. Yes, sir.
I had a question from day to day, how work is being administered, meaning suppose that you have an item of work like walls, for example, or electrical wire or something. How is it, what is the system? Who gives the order to start to somebody to permission him to start at this day? And then how inspection cycles would go? I presume there are many inspectors.
Well, of course, we use critical path method to schedule this stuff, and we monitor it all the time. I mean, I have these 3 people there. They're seldom in the trailer. I mean, they're out there walking around and making judgments about if this is progressing. One thing that has happened with us now, after doing them for so long, I know that between week 21 and week 26, we better have 12 electricians on the job or we won't get done. So you go out and you count noses. And you know, if it's only 10 and they're working real good, we won't say much. But that's one of the biggest problems we fight, especially with subcontractors that haven't done very many. There's no question an electrician knows more about wiring that building than I do, or probably my superintendents do. But we do know how many it takes to get done on time. So if they're only out there with 8, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work. And Wal-Mart's construction managers who come out a couple times a month, they know it too. Well, they go out there and count noses and it's 8, we better have already yelled at them. The second, you know, if a subcontractor doesn't show up when he's scheduled to, we call him that day. We give them about 48 hours to get going, and then we put a lot of pressure on them. I mean, send them telegrams threatening to fire them and things like that, and replace them. Because you just don't have, you know, I told you, the big ones are 5 acres. 5-acre building and 20 acres of site work. You only got 7 months to do it, which means, you know, around here, if you start the last day of March and it's nice and you get done the first day of November, you pretty much used up the good weather, you know. So like right now, you know, we're coming down toward the end of the season. For, you know, October will be fine, and usually most of November. But everything we've got needs to be closed in so we can work all winter. The thing that usually fluctuates because of the weather is when we do the parking lot. If we start now, let's say, then we don't have enough time to get it ready, do the earthwork, get the stone down, put the asphalt paving or concrete, whichever it is, before weather gets bad. So we'll have to do that next spring. And that's probably the biggest adjustment. The building itself is, you know, it's kind of, you know, there's steps that do it. Site work's the only thing that really changes a lot.
Yeah, so let's start with the parking lot first.
No. No, because it tears it up. We grade it, and then we'll put temporary roads in. Use large stone, you know, it's pretty rough, but first thing we do is build the pad, the building pad. That's the very first thing we do. Because they're, you know, maybe 2 feet out of the ground, and again, 5 acres, 200,000 square feet. Get that up so they can start foundations. Then the site contractor, he usually builds that. Then he goes out and starts doing the grading. While we're building the pad, the utilities are going in, the underground sewer and the water and the electricity, so that all that excavation's done, filled back in before we start smoothing things out. Ideally, which seldom happens, but what you would like to do is that order, and then the next thing you do is put the rock down, the stone under the parking lot.